What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today when I talk to you about Lucid, I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down what really moved it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid did go up 2.58%, piggybacking off of the broader market. It did lag the other EVs, unfortunately, but still green is green. 236 the low, 250 the high. You saw a lot of volume, so 124.95 million shares being traded. 107 is the average. A lot of that volume did come from algorithmic trading though, as well as pretty much across the board in the market. Most of it was just hyped up because of what Trump stated yesterday about Powell, how he's not necessarily going to fire him, and then just how he's going to ease off on China for tariffs and not necessarily play hardball. Market loved it and really moved higher because of that, and algos kind of picked up on that momentum. But you did have a lot of good buys on the secondary market, so these are all the transactions right here. So anything with a ask is a buy, so a good chunk of it today, so probably roughly 80% was buys. One big one right here just done after hours, 3.24 million, and that was for 1.3 million shares. Even on the dark pool, a lot of big transactions, couple that were just done on the second dark pool roughly 15 minutes ago, give or take. 1.44 million, 1.3, 1.3 right here. So good to see big money paying attention to Lucid despite Tesla's crappy earnings. And I think today is a testament that whatever happens to Tesla does not trickle down to the other EVs anymore. So that's kind of a good thing, because in the past, even though Tesla did give good future guidance, their numbers sucked. And normally Lucid, Rivian would be reacting negatively to those numbers. So kind of good to see at least Lucid is finding its own footing in the broader market. Today there wasn't any news, no SEC filings or anything along those lines for today. There was a lot, nearly a dozen posts about how potentially the PIF might be acquiring Nissan. So that's the latest rumor. A lot of individuals are speculating one step further, and how if the PIF does acquire Nissan, how Lucid and Nissan could have some sort of partnership. So at the end of the day, Lucid investors will always speculate on partnerships. I think McDonald's is pretty much the only company to ever not be have some rumor about partnering with Lucid in some format. So it is what it is. In my opinion, I don't really see it feasible. The PIF could potentially like acquire Nissan because it's dirt cheap. Things haven't really gone according to plan for them over the last year, so it would make sense for the PIF standpoint. But there's a lot of companies under the PIF umbrella that don't have partnerships with Lucid, and nor will they ever, most likely, because they would have already done so, right, at this stage in the game. Because the PIF sees Lucid struggling, they see their investment struggling, so logically, any potential that the PIF could push Lucid's way as far as partnerships, they would have done so already. So in my opinion, I think this is just a rumor and most likely will stay as that. So let me know your general thoughts. Do you think that there's some actual possibility that Nissan and Lucid will have some sort of partnership? Or what's your kind of general thoughts on that? Today, shorts did return 1.15 million shares, which is rather positive, because normally whatever happens in the broader market, good, bad, or the ugly, Lucid shorts are always increasing all the time. So kind of interesting to see. 23.26% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 282.63 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average 2.38%. So yeah, good to see. Hopefully they do continue to return, and hopefully Lucid does gain some pretty good momentum on a technical standpoint. But moving over to options, 1.15 million in calls, 1.8 in puts. 55% of all the options being done today were optimistic in nature. This one stands out. So there was 849,000 in premiums between 945 and 950. And it was more of a straddle kind of option strategy, because if we look at it, orient it based on the premiums, it was ultimately three big transactions. One for 330, which was seen as bullish. So it looks as though 250 strike price puts with a expiry date of May 16th, 2025 was sold. And then as well, flip side, it looks like two sets of $2.50 puts were purchased with a June 20th, 2025 expiry. And those ones are seen as bearish. So based on this and the timing, it looks like it was clearly the same entity. They are anticipating a push higher with Lucid and then a pullback. So let me know your general thoughts on that in the comments below. Based on the calls that were purchased, so the bulls, that it'll be roughly around that 250 mark. And then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub 250. This is why you're having that psychological kind of resistance point at that 250 mark. So it's brought on by options. So let me know your thoughts on that. Moving on from here, with it closing at 239, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. 233 is going to be a strong support. So if there is a pullback in the broader market, just kind of watch for that, because a lot of bears are saying that what happened today was kind of a bull trap a little bit, because a lot of those commitments and like easing off on China, just meaningless words, nothing, no commitments, nothing like in writing. So at the end of the day, you might have a lot more volatility in the foreseeable future. So if there's a pullback, just watch for 233. Flip side, $2.55 is that next strong target / resistance. After hours, it seems to be going up slightly, so it is up 1.22%, but on the actual chart itself, $2.46 is that 50-day moving average. So hopefully the after hours activity does get it close to that 50-day, and then tomorrow can finish the job off and really break above that. So 50-day moving average is always a very big deal for Lucid. So it's kind of interesting to see the fact that Lucid shorts did return today, despite it gaining some good momentum. So it's kind of as though that they're letting Lucid and wanting Lucid to really move higher. So just watch for that going forward into the next couple of trading days. So $2.46. Aside from that, 261 is going to be that 100-day moving average, followed by 289 at that 200-day moving average. So bigger and better things might be coming down the pipeline. Let me know your general thoughts on all of that in the comments below. I already did a video, I put it out early this morning, about the Q&A type of questions. Some people like them, some people don't. There was a couple of good questions on there that I did bring up, but for the most part, I think it's just another lackluster set of questions. So I don't know, what's your viewpoint on those as well? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some kick-ass buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.